rocpodcasts.com.
AirWreckRadio.
Oh, it's so awful. You're going to love it.
Well, here they come again. They heard that things were happening. With mics in front of faces, their lips begin a flapping. They talk about world and local news reports, and even Steph Michaels, cause she's a doggy whore. Cory says, man, it's a goddamn joke. Corruption is abundant and the POTUS is a hoax. Stacey says,
Man, I'd like to act, but Americans are lazier than most, that's fact.
so go get a bowl, a spoon, and some cereal, and sit your ass down. It's time for AirWreckRadio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking, and thank you for choosing AirWreckRadio. We'd like to apologize in advance if there's any inconvenience caused, but we're going down. It is the 16th day of January in the year 2013. I'm Cory.
And I'm Stacey.
And this is episode 36, part 2 of AirWreckRadio.
I like Mark 1.
Oh, you like Mark 1?
Yeah.
Episode
36, Mark 1. Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that one.
I think that sounds much sciencier.
Maybe. I like part 2.
Yeah, see, I got a problem with French.
Oh, okay.
Not that I have a problem with like French people or anything. I don't find their language interesting to my head and ears and mouth and tongue.
Welcome to speaking a very heavily Germanic English. Yeah, the smoother languages don't seem to stick as well. Part 2, you say?
Part 2.
Well, we'll explain that in just a moment. But first, we are broadcasting from the Hideaway Brewery Studios. Fake radio, doing fake reads for real beer.
This week's real beer is most certainly not Southern Tier's Double Chocolate Stout.
No, that was Mondays.
No, that was a different Double Chocolate Stout.
Oh, okay.
I was at the gas station. You know how I hate gas stations.
We know how much you love the gas station.
And I was so happy to see that they had a deucer of a double chocolate stout. Like, how exciting for me. Gas stations never
double deuce, nice.
Never have something like that. But it was $7.99. Now,
wow.
I have paid $20 for a deucer before. But I will tell you this right now. It wasn't a Southern Tier deucer.
$20 for a deuce?
I paid that, yeah.
The frick were you buying? Virgin's blood?
It was, how did they ferment it?
Nothing for the virgin blood line? I thought it was pretty good.
It was not virgin's blood. It was delicious. It was brewed in whiskey kegs. It was very expensive, very delicious beer. I
Sounds
can't remember
yummy.
the name of it.
Brewed in whiskey keg does sound good.
It will set you down, too. It's very good beer.
So you didn't buy it because it was expensive?
$7.99 for a Southern Tier beer. Nothing against Southern Tier. I really like their IPA. Is delicious. But $7.99 for a Southern Tier deucer? Are you kidding me?
A 6-pack of the IPA is $10.
Yeah, exactly. At a gas station.
Yeah, at a gas station, because that's when I buy them for you. That's where I get them from.
Yeah.
So you walked all that way to tell the people that we were drinking whiskey?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Like we didn't get drunk the first time.
The difference between this time and that time is there are only 2 people in this room, and they know how to take turns, I think. Sometimes, anyway.
Things seem to be much more under control when it's just the 2 of us.
It's certainly quieter in here.
Yeah.
I had a blast with Bill, though. It
was a fun show.
I think we should do that again, and I think we should call it something else.
Yeah, you'll just come on a podcast.
Yeah.
And we'll just do it on a podcast where that shit belongs.
There you go, yeah.
All
there's no
I was
structure
doing
there.
was demonstrating to our dear Wreckheads what a podcast is all about.
And now you know.
Things you needed to know. Yeah, so basically we're doing the part 2 because we wanted to get our Mark 1 because we wanted to get into the news. We tried to get into, but we're too, I don't know. Well, I was too drunk.
And I was too, it was very difficult to stay in a direction at all on that episode.
Did you listen to the show?
Yes, I did.
Did you catch my footnote?
Yes.
I admitted there I was too drunk too. Yeah. So, whoops.
It happens. You didn't seem too drunk until I saw the pile of beer cans behind you.
Oh, I was wasted. I was wasted. I'm not gonna lie. That was too much. I should not drink so much when I'm podcasting.
No, probably not. We've had this conversation before. I'm sure of it.
That's why I named the episode DrunkCasting, and I haven't decided if this gets a new name, even though it should be DrunkCasting.
Just call it episode 36, Mark 1.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what you call it.
Well, there's a part 3 here too.
3 here too? Now you're not making any sense.
There's a part 3 of going to be available as well in a few days.
That'll be Mark 2.
Oh, okay.
Or something.
I don't know. Maybe we'll come up with a different gag.
Hey, friends, we forgot you were there. But we're back now.
You know what? It's what do they call it? It's breaking the fourth wall there. They just got a little bit of the inside scenes of what it takes to make a mind-numbingly boring podcast.
Hey, Cory.
What, Stace?
What time is it?
Oh, I think it's time for...
Headline News.
This week in the news, we have a Ram-Bazzler of a set of stories. Let's start with Lovely Warren. We tried to start with Lovely Warren before and narrowly avoided the podpocalypse.
Yeah. The great thing about that, and I noticed it, and I don't know if anybody else did, but Bill's mouth open said things that were just on the line if we weren't going there, and you immediately changed gears. Good for you, sir.
Yeah. See that 10-foot pole? Not long enough. Mm-mm. So, Lovely Warren.
What happened to Bob Hunsbury?
I don't know.
A couple years ago, he called Mayor Johnson an orangutan and got suspended from his AM radio job.
Oh, good. That's the appropriate action. What an idiot. You don't say that.
Ooh. Now, if you called Bob Duffy an orangutan, would it have been as big an issue?
No. But, yes. But it wouldn't have been treated like as big an issue. It would have been rude,
but it wouldn't have been a big an issue.
More to the point, Lovely Warren.
The new mayor of our dear home, Rochester, New York.
Well, not exactly our dear home, but a lot of our listeners' dear home.
We're from we live in the greater Rochester area, and to be blind that impacts us is silly.
Right. So we all, I think, by now have heard that she is up to a little sweethearting. It's not really sweethearting.
I don't know.
Like her uncle. She hired 2 private security guards. But she already would have had security guards, but these are different.
Give the full story to the people.
One of them's her uncle, and their combined cost to the taxpayer, I read somewhere, was $180,000, and I think that includes the car and equipment and things like that. And I heard $120,000 is their salary that's been created for this job that. So for the 2 guys, $120,000 a year.
And how this problem would have been solved?
The police would have provided a security detail.
Okay. See, this is why I'm torn on this subject. And if anybody listening has any opinions, they should weigh it in on the old Facebook or the Twitter. I'm very torn. Little sweethearting. It sounds like a lot of money this city does not have.
It's $120,000. A lot of money, a little money, whatever. It's $120,000.
She did create 2 more jobs, and there's 2 more police officers fighting crime, not playing babysitter. Those are. I'm not saying I agree. I'm just saying that those are two things that must be taken into consideration when saying she's a witch.
I'd like to counterpoint on that, if I may. Her uncle is a retired cop who, as a retired cop, is getting a pension.
Well, he's still got to claim his income on his taxes, so he will take a penalty in his pension for working a job.
Here's the thing. I think it's disgusting to create these two new jobs. I don't like that. I don't like these two new jobs. I don't think it makes sense to do. I think that it's the only reason you do that is because it's your uncle and you can get him a job. And there's nothing wrong with helping your family out, but this particular, it doesn't really seem like he needed the help.
Okay.
From an outsider's point of view.
Or do you think the immediate concern would have been in front of you if it hadn't been her uncle?
Yeah, I still would have been like...
I'm not saying you would have changed your mind, but it had been as immediate of, that's favoritism.
Let me answer your question.
I'm sorry.
I know where you're going with that, and I wouldn't have been like, it wouldn't be nepotism.
All right, Bill.
For sure. Well, that's the word that he said that I heard about this story, and he remembered it, so thanks for handing me the word, and I remembered it. It wouldn't be that, but it would still be, what's wrong with the police? Like, she hired a cop, a retired cop, instead of having already paid for cops.
I don't think that she would. I think, or at least her public argument would have been. I don't know what her personal motivations are, but her public argument to that question would be exactly what I said. Nothing against the police officers. I wanted them on the street doing the job that they're good at doing. And I'll hire a private security force to take care of me.
No, but she didn't. You'll hire.
Create jobs.
You'll hire. Not her.
Yeah,
she didn't hire them. You hired them.
That's not how she would have said it.
But I'm saying, like...
it wouldn't even have been hire. We'll create...
Are you suddenly being the one who's not going to look behind the curtain, Corey? Is that the role you're playing?
Damn you.
You're not gonna... She's not hiring anybody. We are... Well, not us. The citizens of Rochester.
I'm just saying how she would spin it. That she was creating jobs, not hiring.
Right. I'm creating two jobs and giving... one of them to a retired cop who has a pension, who also has a lead foot.
I don't know exactly what the rules are there, but I know there's rules with the working when you have a pension.
I'm sure there are. I'm sure there's something, and I'm sure it's not quite adequate unless you're the one benefiting from it. Then it's probably pretty adequate. You probably even bitch about it a little bit.
Anyways, heavy foot?
Yeah.
Oh, what? Huh?
Got a lead foot. On the day of the State of the State address.
The state of the what now?
The State of the State address.
Oh, all right.
Mayor Lovely Warren's car was pulled over, and her uncle was driving, and he was going, I heard, 2 speeds because he was pulled over twice that day. One at 93 and one at 97. Both times he was let go with a warning.
Yeah, he's a former cop. Of course he's going to let go.
Of course he's going to get... Of course, Corey. I'm good with that. I'm a realist. I understand he's going to get that. Here's the problem I have. When asked by the press, he said, it was more like 80. All right, now you're fucking lying, dude. Now you're a liar.
Asshole.
Now you're a liar, and you're an asshole because you're telling everybody in Rochester that the police radar guns aren't calibrated properly.
Either admit to it, or to vehemently deny it. Those are your two choices.
Or don't say anything.
Yeah.
No comment, man. I got pulled over. No comment. Everybody gets pulled over. It's not a big deal. But you fucking lied. Why'd you lie? It was like 80. Listen, I say that when I get pulled over going 93, but that's because I don't have that kind of, nobody's letting me off with a warning. If you got let off with a warning, don't lie, dude. Just no comment. He's insinuating that the police radar guns are off. And if he can get away with that kind of lie, why can't everybody else?
Either that the police radar guns are off, or that the officer that let him slide was a liar.
Now you're saying that a cop is a liar, which is the same thing as I'm saying, only
the one that let you slide, too.
There's definitely proof that one of these cops is a liar.
Yeah.
And he just got a shiny new job that was created by his niece, the new mayor, Lovely Warren.
All right, fine. You talked me into it, boo.
Thank you.
Next.
Thank you. Thank you. The Supreme Court is weighing in on a free speech issue in Massachusetts.
Oh, okay. Well, what? I don't know anything about this.
In Massachusetts, there's an imaginary line drawn around abortion clinics out 35 feet.
Okay.
And past that line towards nearer the abortion clinic than that, you cannot be a protester. Can't do it.
Okay.
This is to protect
the people that
work there, the patients that are going there.
Yeah.
It's really to avoid the jackassery that hangs out outside of abortion clinics.
It's them attacking people and me running them over with my car as I'm leaving because they won't get out of the way.
Yes, it's also for their protection.
Yeah,
correct. Well, one right to life group. Unfortunately, I don't have the story up in front of me, but there's a right to life group. They have a terrific name too. It's something about freedom. I don't know. It's definitely something about freedom. They're like the guardians of freedom or something like that.
We are the protectors of the freedom of the patients of the Christ.
We should be free to be douchebags. So
God hates killers.
There's a grandmother that they're touting out as this is who they're trying to tell you is at these she's the face of this. Is this grandmother?
Oh, this little. She's got. Oh, okay.
Little sweet old lady.
So the anti-abortion people are parading out a grandmother figure.
Yes.
Little sweet old lady, bake some cookies and tuffle you on the head.
Right.
Tell you how good you are.
Yeah.
Trying to pretend like these are the people that are outside the abortion clinics.
Yeah.
Protesting.
Yes. You got it.
I don't think I need to get into this. I don't know.
Here's
why am I even talking about this?
Because it needs to be talked about by people like us, and not people like the Supreme Court.
That's fucking ridiculous. My grandmother can't stand for more than an hour.
Well, that's kind of a side point. That their person is an old lady. The point is, the story is about what the Supreme Court's there for, not what the old lady's there for.
You brought it up.
I know.
I commented.
The Supreme Court has been asked to comment on whether or not it's constitutional. Does this violate free speech that you can't be within 35 feet of these buildings as a protester?
No.
It does.
No. You're still able to practice your free speech at a safe location. There are limits to your speech. There are limits to your free speech.
The argument here... The argument here is valid, and I hate that it's valid, Cory. I do.
I don't, and I'm trying so hard not to say it.
You can't tell people when they have a right to free speech. That's not what free speech is.
But you can't tell people that they don't have the right to work in a safe environment.
That's true too. This is one of those situations where you can't really legislate good behavior. People just need to stop being dickheads. And also, stop wasting... How much money do these cases cost? Here's the thing. Folks, if you're for abortion or against abortion, here's the thing. Half of us are one way, half of us are the other. It is a dead nut split. And that means it's got to be left alone. Just leave it alone. You don't like abortion? Don't have an abortion.
If your God frowns upon you having abortions?
That's between you and him.
Yes.
And you have the right you have the right to have that relationship with your God or even with yourself. If God has nothing to do with it, if you just think it's wrong, that's fine too. Don't have an abortion.
All these things are true. Everything you just said is true.
But don't be a dick.
That's the where I'm
stop wasting money.
And I'm sorry, but that's where the linchpin comes loose on you, because you're asking people to do something that case study has shown they don't do. You're asking people to not be dicks, but we've just seen times and times again that when people get together in groups, they turn into dicks. It's called mob mentality for a reason. Individual people might be kind, and half of them are dicks. But when you get people together, man, they get ravenous. You're never going to have people that are kind in these kind of heated debates. That's why I'm pro the 35 feet thing. Stand there and scream your heart out, baby, because you got the right to do it. But I got the right to be safe, too.
My biggest beef here is that this is in front of the Supreme Court again.
Yeah, why are we doing this again?
Just please, knock it off.
Disagree.
Knock it off. And the real trouble is that the people that are right to life are also correct. They are also correct. And in their minds and their hearts, they're there to save babies' lives. And it's hard to say that that's insane when you know all the facts. But damn, man, you don't know all the facts. You know the physicalities of what's involved, but you don't know who the people are that you're being a dick to.
That's what I'm saying. You got your beliefs and you can have your beliefs, but there's other people involved in this situation. There's people involved in this situation, and more negativity. If you believe this is negative to begin with, it's not going to help.
Right.
And that's all this shit brings is negativity.
And I'm saying you can't legislate that. You can only change the culture, and the only way you change culture is by talking about it openly. You got to be able to have these conversations with people who disagree with you vehemently, which is a difficult thing to do.
And I like how we found another subject that we both agree on the broad spectrum of it, but when you got down to the brass tacks of the story, we're both on the opposite side.
Yeah, because you say that if you can't make a law, then it's going to be chaos, and I know that's centering it down too much. I know that.
Thank you for.
I know that I'm narrowing that down too much, but that's a common thread. Just one thread in the rope you weave around my neck most weeks.
Because I hate to be the pessimistic, but you're asking people to not follow the shit that we know that they.
I'm actually not asking people anything. I'm telling people what I think.
If for there not to be legislation about this, just hear me out for a second. Mm-hmm. In order to not be legislation about this, they have to do what you asked them to do, and that was don't be dicks about it. And we're back to I'm stealing your line for the what was it? Something about a bucket of unicorn piss or something. Yeah.
I guess to counter that.
So just give me 1 second.
Get there.
So the legislation's already in place, and to me seems fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
Even if both sides it's too close, it's not close enough.
Right.
So why are we? I'm okay with why are we talking about this again?
Yeah. Neither one of us is happy with this solution. We must have it right. Right. Leave it alone.
It's done. We handled this.
Yeah.
It sounds reasonable. Let's move on.
My counterpoint is, people do what they're asked to do all the time. See, there's nothing stopping you from driving through my grass. You wouldn't get caught. It's just a dick thing to do, and people don't do it. Now, does it happen occasionally on accident? Sure, yes. And sometimes people are dicks and they do that on purpose. But the large majority of us have never purposefully driven across a stranger's grass.
I want to. I don't want to rile you up here.
It's too late.
You just said that these people believe they're saving babies' lives. That's a lot fucking bit different than your analogy of driving on the grass.
Yeah, that's because I was talking about what these people think then, and now I'm talking about what I think. And when I talk about what other people think, it doesn't necessarily reflect my views. Because I don't think they're killing babies. I think they're aborting fetuses. And I know that's dressed up language, but it's what's actually happening.
I'm not gonna get into a language argument with you. But let's imagine. God. I'm not doing it.
Thank you.
I want to now.
I have another Supreme Court case, so maybe we want to get to that instead.
But can I just quick?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's go and start. I like it.
I want to stick with your grass thing. You're driving on the grass thing?
Yeah.
Now let's say you're driving in a pack. You've got 10 of your buddies. We all got different cars, right? We're all on the CB, talking, having a good time. We've had a couple beers, or maybe we're all very upset about something. And you're all very upset. There we go. You're all very upset. And then these guys' houses down here are the guys that upset you. Everyone here, we should drive through their fucking yards with donuts and fuck them. Woo! Guess what's happening? One of these fucking asswipes, out of these 10 assholes, is going to stop talking about it and be about it.
See, but what you're doing there is creating a very specific scenario.
That is
What if
a better
meteors fell
analogy.
from the sky and I swerve out of the way of it and drive through somebody's...
No, because that's exactly what's happening at the abortion clinics. It's not out of the way. I just related your grass story to exactly what's happening at the abortion clinics. These are passionately heated people, not people going about their daily business.
I
It's a
said
different
specifically,
thing.
go through a stranger's yard unprovoked. Purposely, without provocation, through a stranger's yard.
These people feel provoked.
Yeah, these are abortionists.
The anti-abortionists
right-to-lifers.
feel provoked. So we're already a step past being polite because we're not provoked. Now we're into provoked and how we act when we're provoked. They're dangerous.
Well, see, now you've
in
raised a
pack.
really interesting question. How the fuck did somebody who didn't do anything to you, who you don't even know, who you've never met, you've never seen, they're never going to have any impact on your life, how did they provoke you exactly?
Because you offended my God, who I word is
That's how
the
Muslims
concrete.
think. That's how militant Muslims think. That's terrorist thinking.
That's how militant Christians think.
Well, do we think that's right or wrong in this room, Corey?
Oh, clearly, fucking, we don't have to spell that out. Clearly, it's retarded.
Then do we have to argue, like, it's like playing chess with yourself. Sooner or later, somebody's got to win. And in this situation, it doesn't have to be a win-lose. But I think we're arguing to argue.
Maybe, because, well, see, okay, and you mentioned that a couple times when we got into a discussion. Unfortunately, we don't really have the power to affect any of the things that we talk about. So literally, no matter what we're talking about, if we get in an argument, we're arguing just to argue.
Talk is our power, Corey.
Well, and part of that is having disagreements and having different sides of things.
Yeah, but we're having disagreements we don't actually have, you see.
I'm not trolling you. I feel this way. That the 35-yard line is fucking reasonable because
Me
you see
too.
more animals.
Right. So, like we're saying to the people who are actually involved in this case, leave it alone. Nobody's satisfied. Everybody wins.
There you go.
That's how compromise works.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
You know how else it works? Next story.
Also, in the Supreme Court, this one's a weird one for me. Are you aware of what net neutrality means?
Well, I know what the word neutrality means. A net can have multiple meanings.
Well, we're not talking fishing nets. That really probably wouldn't make it to the
So
Supreme
we're going
Court.
network.
Yeah.
So the interwebs?
The internet, yeah.
The intertubes. Okay.
The intertubes. Such a fuck.
Neutrality. No, dude, I don't have nothing here.
You're not alone there. I'd never heard this term until today.
I don't have nothing.
Or at least I'd never retained it. I'd probably heard it, but I'd never retained it. Net neutrality is the guarantee that your internet providers cannot favor certain websites over others. All
Makes
websites
sense.
are created equal with equal access to equal. So
Yahoo
they
can't pay you to boost their bandwidth and lower Google's.
Yes.
Gotcha. Hey,
Yeah,
Frontier.
yeah, sure, yeah, that.
Here's $100
That's pretty
million to fucking
More
stop
like
up the Google a little bit.
a more reasonable, a more likely scenario would be that Netflix would pay for more, to outweigh
More
bandwidth or whatever. However,
Oh.
the internet works. I don't know. Bit more gas. I don't know.
Actually, no, I'm sure that they do. Because bandwidth costs money.
No.
and you're
No.
charged
This
per
is
unit.
this is like transmitting. Corey. I don't know
I don't
the
get
internet.
it.
I don't understand how it works.
I'm
but
pretty sure what this means is
This
that
is in delivery.
you can't. Frontier's policy can't be that you have to use that their front page is Google.
You want to make a website? Call it AirWreckRadio. You can do that, and it can work just as well as any other website. And it didn't cost you more for it to work as well. It's going to have as much connectivity.
As a low grade website, they're not all the same. There's different packages you can buy.
I'm sure they're not all entirely equal.
Our page is on the very bottom end of that.
But that's through our hosting site. If we were better internet gurus, we wouldn't need one of those. We just make it ourselves. And then we would have as much access as all the big boys.
Oh, I might have something in the works there, friend.
But now, that protection has been eliminated. And now your internet service providers can dictate what the internet brings to you. So my first impression of this is probably how this will affect you is you'll get like Time Warner will offer this slew of website access exclusivity.
Oh, okay.
And Verizon will offer you, and you'll
just
still
like
get,
they do with cable.
There'll still be the whole other internet, but exactly, just like cable.
Where they buy and sell channels,
Right.
They negotiate to be on. Right. Satellite's got some channels that Time Warner doesn't.
You want Netflix and Hulu, you can get that on Time Warner. You want Netflix and Amazon, you can get that on Verizon.
Okay.
You want Hulu
now
and Netflix,
I understand.
You're pissing up a rope.
We got it under control.
You see?
All right, now I get it. Woo.
You see the problem with this?
Yeah,
sucks. Verizon
riots in the fucking streets, my friend.
Verizon has said in a press release that the consumer won't see any difference. I say Verizon has no reason to say anything else, which doesn't mean they're lying, but it doesn't mean they're telling the truth either.
Yeah, they're not admitting they're not going to change anything.
Just because this spokesman said
you won't notice.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
For now, till we have another press conference, we say, well, you're going to notice some changes.
Yeah.
No, that nobody. Yeah.
I don't like it. It's ugly. It's gross. But proponents of this say that what this law was really doing was hampering innovation.
You think?
No. Well, I think that's what they said. But
they're saying the neutrality law
was hampering innovation. It was keeping. One example I heard, which was like the best.
Yeah, this story is really confusing me.
One example I heard, which was like the best straw man I ever heard, was like, what if you're doing internet surgery? And I don't know exactly what that means, but I assume it means like you're watching a how to commit surgery video while you're doing open heart surgery. And the example was
Google this.
The example was you don't want that freezing up. So now providers will have an opportunity to provide medical grade internet. And I thought, this is such a straw man load of horse shit you just laid on me that I can smell the hay.
Medical grade internet.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure there's proper, like, realistic applications for that, but I've never heard it said that people in the medical community, for a specific example, complain that their internet is too slow to do surgery with. I've never heard that. Now, I'm not in the field or around the field at all, but I watch a lot of TV. I just watched all of Scrubs, and I didn't hear anybody say that.
I also probably don't know that a lot of American surgeons are doing a lot of YouTubing while they're cutting open the hearts. But you would be able to convince me that people in other countries, somebody in Brazil, was on the fucking phone with the video and another surgeon doing some complicated shit that only the guy on the phone's ever done before. And then you would say, well, you need the perfect internet speed.
This is a U.S. thing, but I get your point. For sure.
Well, then that's the only time I can see. I don't think a lot of U.S. doctors are using too much YouTube.
And, hey, listen, all right, if I don't believe they're not giving us the fastest internet they can give us right now. I don't believe that. I think that they are giving us the fastest internet that they can give us right now. And I think that to tell us that they can make one faster for medical grade stuff is panic strategy. Oh, medical grade. Oh, they're going to give it to doctors? Well, of course doctors should be able to afford. Well, who's going to pay for that?
I don't think that we have the fastest internet available.
I'm certain we don't have the very fastest we could possibly have.
The military is reserved for that connection.
Their use is so very specific. And it's considerably smaller scale. So, like, blow it up and give it to everybody, and suddenly a much more daunting. I think. I don't know. Like I said, it's all magic to me. I don't know how that stuff works. I know there's not even wires anymore, and that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Except for big cables that run under the ocean. I know that too, and that's pretty cool also.
Because of those giant cables running in the ocean, the air is now quieter than it has been in almost 100 years.
Yeah.
Because there's less radio signal going over the air because it's all satellite and ground cable.
I think we talked about that 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay.
Might have been 3 weeks ago. I'm a little thrown off on this Mark 1 thing.
Yeah, I don't remember what the hell's going on. You got anything else?
Break time?
Well, if you want to, sure.
Yeah, let's take a break. Folks, this break has been brought to you by
plugs that we need to do.
All right. Plugs we need to do.
Things that we need to remember. Number 1, next week on AirWreck Radio, show proper, we have very special guests coming in the studio.
Ooh, special guests.
And do you know who they are?
No, who are
our
they?
good friends Jay and Ace.
They're not our good friends yet. They're our pod friends.
They're our pod friends, and I feel like I know them because I listen to their podcast.
I hope that we will be good friends.
Yes. Our friends Jay and Ace from the Mental Overload Show.
I'm looking forward to this.
On the ROCpodcast.com.
If you think we didn't get anything done this week, wait until next week's show.
And I'm pretty sure square inch wise, like poundage wise, pound for pound, there'll be more podcasting happening here than anywhere else.
That's probably true too.
4 fat guys with a microphone. Plug number 2 is a Revolution Theory at Nashville's.
Oh, that's right. When is that?
That is January 24th, a Friday.
Next Friday.
Yeah, Revolution Theory plays at 9:30.
Yeah.
There's an opening act before then. I think they're on at 8. And before that's a benefit for somebody.
What are they opening?
Huh? I said I think 8. Oh, you mean the doors?
No, what are they opening? The opening act. What are they going to open?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail you that hard. I mean, I meant to derail you a little bit, but
that circled right around my head. Headed straight to Buffalo.
Listener, I'm sorry that derailed the show that badly.
Oh my God. You floored me, pal.
Man. Revolution Theory
at Nashville's West Henrietta Road. Come hang out with AirWreck Radio and Revolution Theory and drink excessively.
Important fact, though, Nashville's is a country bar. Revolution Theory is not a country band. They are.
Oh, that's a good point to think.
They are a rock cover band. They do a wide variety of pop rock tunes that you are going to have loved at some point in your life.
I described him with Buck as alt because he's old.
Alt?
Alt covers.
Yeah. That's whatever. He's probably like, that's not a genre.
He was like, no, that sounds cool. Because he's got tickets to the other giant event that another real radio station is putting on with a morning show that I used to listen to.
Is it SummerSlam already? Summer Jam already?
Oh, yeah, that's it. No, they're doing Rover's Holiday Hangover.
Oh, we're not plugging that.
No, that's why I was trying not to, but you fucking did the SummerSlam joke, and I felt like a pussy.
When are they doing that? January 23rd.
Yeah. At 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Get there early to vote.
Wait, I'd like to
now we're the Republicans.
Yeah.
Next plug is ROC Podcast first birthday party. Woo!
Ooh. Oh, that's going to be a good time too. Where's that going to be?
That is February 1st. At the Fireside. I don't remember that part.
Oh, the fire. No, not the Fireside.
Oh Jesus, we're great at this.
Oh, it used to be
the thing that was things that are places. I'm going to the Facebook right now.
The place on South Clinton and.
Goodman? Firehouse Saloon.
There it is. Firehouse
Megs
Saloon.
in South Clinton, 10 p.m., 21 and over, $6 cover. Show up. The Isotopes are playing.
Ooh, the Isotopes.
And
you know them from The Simpsons.
And Isotopes karaoke.
That's interesting.
That should be fun. Hosted by the one and only Podfather, Vincent Polino.
Ooh.
Vincenzo Polino. That's right, I always fuck that up.
You do.
I always fuck that up. Anything else? No, that was it. I think that's all the things I had to plug this time.
Thank goodness.
And off to break.
Hey everybody, it's Ryan Schofield, host of The SCO Zone. If you like sports and you hate politically correct sports radio shows, you might want to check out The SCO Zone, available on rocpodcast.com. It's sports from the degenerate's perspective. We bet you'll love it. No, seriously, I'll bet you.
Finally, a show for the people. Men of such sensitivity and caring.
And I'm sorry to any of our black listeners.
We have black listeners? Men of such professionalism and style.
Clearly I fucked up.
That's what it looked like when you were in control.
Alright, now shut up.
Men of integrity.
I was more worried about midget porn, but you have a good point about,
I was trying to be, to reach the broader audience than the...
I don't do that.
And men of courage.
You fucking kidding me?
Oh my god, we're terrible at this.
It can only be AirWreckRadio.
Welcome back to AirWreck Radio. It is still time for headline news. Moving on in the headlines, let's talk about everybody's current favorite New Jersey governor.
Mr. Chris Christie.
Chris Christie.
I think he's the favorite governor because he's their only governor.
A man so wide, they named him twice.
It's pretty cute. You came up with that last minute
Just
there.
right now.
I saw that.
Yeah, you like that? I hate his name.
That's pretty cute. I heard you complain about his name, and we've already cried to each other about his fat ass.
He is a model American hero, Cory. He saved New Jersey from certain doom.
Were they doomed with an overabundance of food?
I don't know.
So we ate it all?
How about he's running for president?
Could I
we know he's running for president, so he had his stomach stapled. That's the kind of decision making that I want running this country.
This man, not only do we already know he's running for president, so he had a stomach staple,
right?
He used to be a Republican.
Oh, and now he's a Democrat.
And now he's a Democrat.
Right, yeah. So
if you ever heard of somebody so hungry for power in your life...
that's just, he's a prime example. He's a shining star for how the system works, Cory. See, if it doesn't work one way, you do the exact same thing a slightly different way.
It's like, okay, dude, this is literally a scene out of a movie. Somebody's fucking with us, right? A 400-pound man blatantly sets up the pins in front of everybody to see.
I'm with you.
To run for the presidency.
Yes.
He's got a stomach staple.
Yeah.
And all this, ready?
Because we can't have Winston Churchill will not make it as an American president.
He switches parties. He kisses all the right butts. He licks all the right woohoos.
Switching parties makes me angry.
I really... Okay.
I don't mind switching parties, but switching to the next major party, like...
And then his first scandal is a ridiculous traffic... The writers of The Office wrote this into this.
Yeah.
This is a storyline from the writers of The Office. This is a caricature of politics.
Yes, it is. You're absolutely... That is completely accurate. A caricature of a politician.
Yeah.
That's what Chris Christie is.
He is.
Correct. He is a cartoonist's dream.
I'm telling you. And with the scandal with the traffic, with the... Well, tell people about the traffic thing.
This guy doesn't even want to be president. He just wants the presidency. Oh, I hate this guy.
Tell him about the traffic.
So, I had it written out a different way. I actually had something different about Chris Christie, other than the traffic thing. The traffic thing's fun, though. Do you know the deets better than I do?
Apparently.
Please.
Apparently, a mayor of a town did not give his support to the Christie campaign. And I believe that means the presidency.
No, this is for the governorship.
Oh, was it governorship?
Yeah, this was to be reelected for the governorship.
And someone in his office sent an email or
In the Christie office.
In the Christie office.
Someone in the Christie office
About maybe gumming up the works on the old highway there.
said very specific things
About
like
causing...
sounds like whatever town is in for some terrible traffic or something to that effect.
And guess what happened?
Yeah.
Some town was in for some terrible traffic. And they got it. And Christie knows nothing about it.
Somebody else in the office had an email, like in the Christie office. And Governor Christie knows
Nothing about it.
About it.
Listen, if you take the fucking fall for this, if you fall on the sword for this, in 2 years, when I'm president, I'm going to hook you up nice with a consulting job, $500,000 a year, a nice place at the country club. I'll hook you up nice.
So I'm going to need private security. I'll hire you. Don't worry.
Yeah,
take care.
Exactly, $150,000.
So there's this with the bridge thing, which is, I mean, you're not hurting this mayor. You're hurting the people, and you're the governor of the state. This is your office hurting your constituents.
Bingo.
Politics at its best, friends.
Mm-hmm.
This is a fine and shining example.
But I'm telling you, dude, this is a character. This is a script written by the guys that wrote The Office.
I wish Chris Farley was still alive,
like the British
so that
version.
he could make a movie about Chris Christie.
Just in your head, real quick, picture this whole scene, but it's a British sketch comedy show making fun of this. That's exactly where this came from. This was an improv act with some British comics.
So here's something else about Governor Christie right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Is this a fun fact?
No, I actually had a different news story than the traffic. I think at the end of somewhere in here, I'm pretty sure I say something about the traffic, but Governor Chris Christie is under pressure over lane... Oh, I said it right at the beginning, but then didn't pay any attention. This was the Washington Bridge. I'm sorry, I was having a difficult time reading, listener. Now the Department of Housing and Urban Development are auditing how the Christie campaign spent not the campaign. Governor Christie in governorship spent $25 million to promote the Jersey Shore. That was all given to do that. That was a good and worthy cause to do. The issue here is that Christie spent $4.7 million for ads that featured him and his family supporting the Jersey Shore. This was at a time when the governor was running for re-election, while he was gumming up bridges over not getting the support during that same election. So this is two different things during that same election.
The only argument I can make for him...
Let me get to the end because it's like I'm a sentence away. He spent $4.7 million on ads that featured him and his family strongly in the ads for the benefit of the Jersey Shore. Another firm had offered similar ads for $2.5 million, which did not feature the Christie family. The deciding factor was that this was election time, and it was a good time to get some publicity. I'm already the governor. I mean, come on, who's going to tell me no?
Who better to represent the state but the very popular governor on the presidential run?
Yeah. Who better to end up looking like an ass for doing that? Like, I mean, it's just you look like an ass now, dude. Good for you.
Yeah.
This is gonna hurt your run for the presidency against Hillary Clinton, which is a horse of a different horse face. I don't want to get into Hillary Clinton. I'm not prepared to. And listen, it wasn't good enough for Bill to get into. Why should it be good enough for me? Oh, that's mean.
Well, I asked you if you had a fun fact, and that's because I had a fun fact.
I don't have a fun fact.
Do you know what my fun fact is?
No.
Did you know that in 1991, Michael J. Fox was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease?
That's not fun at all.
It's terrible.
That's tragic fact.
The Golden Globes pushed that as a fun fact on a little little screen clip, a little production.
Those Golden Globes.
Fun facts.
Crazy Golden Globes.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to mention that. That's pretty ridiculous.
That's funny.
Ouch.
I mean, it's not terrifically funny, but it's kind of funny.
We don't do a lot of entertainment news here on AirWreck Radio. I thought that was funny. Fun facts.
I feel bad for Michael J. Fox, man. This is what happens when you go through time, though. I mean, remember that hand disappeared? Now it fucking shakes all the time. That's what happens.
Is that original material? Did you hear that somewhere?
No, I just said that right now.
That's pretty goddamn good.
Okay. I'm glad.
I hope that's not somebody else's. That's pretty good.
I hope somebody worth hearing that hears that, puts it in their stand-up somehow, I guess. I don't know. Make it funny, guys. Make it funny.
I kind of wanted to touch on the Dennis Rodman thing.
Oh, that's right.
Because I know we talked about it in the last part.
Well,
but it was much more, fun picking on.
Yeah. Okay, I could see that this topic
real quick. I don't want to be
a little more ass-hattery,
which is the episode 2.
Yeah, of a podcast.
Good job,
you like that? Free plug.
Thank you. I don't want to beat it to death. I just want to touch on it real quick. That we were trying to convey to Bill that it
sounded
was
a little
media.
creepy here.
Touch.
I don't want to beat it to that. Just want to touch it a little bit.
A little bit.
A little creepy, Corey.
A little bit.
A little creepy.
2 fingers, real gentle.
Oh. Moving on.
With the other guy's blood. Nothing? No? Okay. We were joking about it. We were trying to convey to Bill that he's not our representative.
Yeah.
But the media makes him out to be. My problem is that me and you know that. And I think most Americans have figured that out. But what about the rest of the world that he's telling them he's our representative?
Addendum. Most Americans who are aware of this story have figured it out.
Okay, yeah. This 7-foot-tall, tattooed-covered, brightly-haired, wearing double nose piercing black guy who wore a wedding dress to his own wedding does not represent me at all.
No.
Not in the tiniest.
Nope.
He doesn't represent my interests. We don't represent a similar culture.
Mm-mm.
He wasn't appointed by any of the elected officials that I elected into office.
Yeah. No, none of those things.
None of those things happened.
No, he's just a wildly erratic person hanging out with another wildly erratic person.
And this has got to be a dangerous fucking combination.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? I mean, just imagine the irony for the corpses when Kim Jong-un strikes off World War III.
Write that down. Irony for the corpses. We got a band name, baby.
Him and Dennis Rodman spark off World War III and we're all dead in 26 seconds.
Yes.
And nobody will ever get to know how fucking stupid that is. Like, fucking
that Kim Jong
40 million years worth of evolution and this could take us out.
Kim Jong-un and Dennis Rodman were our undoing.
Aliens will be like, those humans.
They really had something going for a minute.
40 million years moving towards that destruction.
They really had something going for a minute, but they, I don't know what happened.
Suddenly makes you realize how fucking ridiculous it is that Dennis Rodman is even on the news at all. How about news people? How about next time Dennis Rodman does something, don't touch it?
And can I tell you something? America already has basketball playing ambassadors. They're called the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, he brought them to North Korea once, too.
If you're going to send American basketball players and ambassadors, send the Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah. I'm okay with that. They're famous.
They would win, though.
Is that why they weren't welcome back?
Yeah, they would. If they played, they would win.
I can't believe. And they lost, and I can't believe that the people in Korea buy it. How do people in North Korea buy that?
Well, Corey, it's because, quite simply, there's nothing else to buy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it comes down to. There's nothing else to buy.
It doesn't matter. I don't. You were talking about what?
They don't have a bipartisan system at all. Like, you can bitch all you want about our idiotic two-party system, but at least it gives us the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
These people, they don't even get that. They're just force-fed that this is terrific and it doesn't get any better. And the ones that make it into China to see, like, to visit are like, I can't believe the food waste here.
And to prove it next
in
week,
China.
To prove it next week on the pod, we're featuring our favorite North Korean podcasts. Oh wait, that'd be short on the pod.
What?
You just wait. And a bit is born.
Okay.
I'm done with the Rodman thing.
I hope there's a bit that comes out of this.
I just kind of, as I said it out loud, I was like, I have a bit there. Okay.
All right, you better make it, because now I'm in. I want to hear this.
I'm done with the Rodman thing.
I had a quick addendum about the lovely Warren situation, something that I remembered on the break that I wanted to just get back to and touch on real quick.
Addendums.
Lovely Warren was quoted as saying that now I'm not quoting, but she was quoting as saying, the private security is paid for out of a budget surplus. Now,
but she didn't pass the budget surplus. It's not like she should get credit for the budget surplus.
Here's the thing about a budget surplus.
Administrations.
I'm not saying that a surplus isn't a good thing, but what it does mean is that that's extra taxpayer money. Now, what exactly is the benefit to the taxpayers who put that extra money there for the mayor to have private security? Is it 2 cops on the streets? Is that the value of? I don't think that's an equal value. I just don't think that's an equal value. I don't think it's a fair trade.
All right, you already won me, so I'm not arguing.
Okay. That was my quick addendum. It pissed me off greatly, that quote that she said. She was like, well, it was a surplus anyway. No, it wasn't. A surplus isn't a surplus, dummy.
An AirWreck addendum.
It just isn't, especially not at a city level. If a city level surplus exists, well, what about the county?
Give it to the school district.
Right. Yeah, there you go. There is a perfectly admirable use for just
give it to the school district.
There you go. Don't give anybody a raise. This is for supplies.
Exactly. This is for
something
glue
like
and
that.
Paper.
Yeah, that's a perfect example to that. So that is all I have, Corey.
Yeah,
for
that's
headline
all.
news tonight.
That's all we have for part 2 of episode 36.
Episode 36, Mark 1. Hang in there. There's going to be a non-live broadcast that we're going to post, and it's going to be all the B-reel from the making of this catastrophe